but following the positions. I don't want to over risk for them. I don't want a Dumbo situation. So yeah, I've reduced my risk to 1 to 0.5% on trades, and consequently, I've had my best month ever. I think it's more of a psychological thing. I think it's because if I'm used to risking 2%, for me, if I lose a 1% trade, that's only 0.5%. So I'm not. This probably is going to sound bad. I don't mean it in a sort of a bad psychological way, but it doesn't give me that feeling of taking a loss. So I'm not that worried about going into a trade, taking the loss, and then re-entering if I still like it. Does that make sense? I'm not sure if it does, but that's the way I see it. So I think it actually gave me a little bit of a confidence boost, but not in a negative way. I'm still obviously following rules and strategy, but there you go. And it's also a very small account. It's only got $2,000 in it. So really, a 1% loss, what's that, $20? It's fine. Anyway, guys, I'm over time. I've just realized I'm almost 2 minutes over. Chris, I'm sorry. Guys, have an amazing day. Have an amazing weekend. I appreciate you all being here. Don't go. We've got Chris coming up. Chris, have a good stream. A1, guys, thank you very much. I'll see you all next week.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to today's A1 trading session. We love engaging with our audience, talking shop, taking requests, and sharing our favorite setups. It's about that time where we're going to review a bunch of indexes, stocks, currencies, gold, silver, Bitcoin, and pretty much anything else and share our insights. If you're wondering what trades I'm in, if you're wondering what trades I'm taking, and you'd like to see exactly how I'm trading everything, you can actually follow my trading signals. If that sounds like something you're interested in, we'll share a link in the chat and you can sign up. You can sign up directly with the link or speak to a support rep if you have any questions. If you're asking, what do I trade? Pretty much everything. Indexes, ETFs, stocks, options, futures, Forex, and crypto. Thoughtful analysis, active trading. Check it out. And now, back to the show. Hey everybody, happy Friday. How we doing? I'm just getting a couple of screenshots posted, doing some add-on trades to my China plays. Let me log in back to my broker platform. It was being a little slow this morning, but I got filled on 2 additional credit spreads on Baidu and Alibaba. Premiums were pretty solid, and I just put in a 110 by 105 on Baba and a 110 by 105 on Baidu. Collected 255 and 275. Yep, 255 and 275 credit on those trades. So going after a little bit of additional income on those plays with some credit spreads. I'm going to post that in Discord. So I have it right here. I'm just going to put it all under one trade. So in the A1 Trading Discord under the Chris's Trade section. If you don't have the Chris's Trade section, there is the Pulver Alert package if you're interested. I think the team will post a link to that. So I'm just getting logged back into my broker platform here. This will be under Stocks Options. I'm going to put these together with 2 screenshots. Let's go, let's go, let's go. So here we are. This is a Baba and Baidu combo credit spread. Alibaba is the 11:15 expiration, 110 by 105, and 255 credit. And then Baidu, 11:15 expiration. Same leg, surprisingly, but works out pretty nicely, and premiums are pretty solid. All right, so 50% take profit or 90% take profit. All right, so get that posted in my trade section. Post a couple of screenshots. So here's one for Alibaba, and here's one for Baidu. All right, trade is posted. Overall, again, pretty happy with the week. This might be, one of my more favorite weeks because it's only a year of planning that's finally showing some signs of profit. So up to a fresh watermark high. Now it's a pretty, so far so good for the year, 234K, up 24K on the day. A lot of that is still being led by China. Also had a pretty good win streak this week. So 12 of 13 winners this week in just SPX and SPY And also I'm looking at, if you're interested in this trade, I posted this morning. It was kind of a bonus trade for my daily profit play members, but I'll put this one in for index trades. This is going to be a SPY 930 expiration, 570 long put. Let's see what it's trading for right now, because you probably get a better price than I did. So I took a trade this morning around 91 cents. So if I go SPY right here, 570, I got filled for 90. Where's it at? I got filled for 92 cents, and I've already got it set for $1.77 credit. If I look at the trade itself for the 30th, right now it's trading for about 70 cents. So if you like the trade, 70 to 75 cent debit. I'm targeting a 570 SPY strike price and looking for $1.75 credit or higher. So the trade I'm looking for is going to be based on this screenshot right here. I want to see if price will move down to that level. So 570 long put, 70 cents debit. And then I filled at 92 cents debit. And that's because I took the trade earlier and price is still trading the same way. So I'm putting it out to Monday. So it's end of the month, end of the quarter, to see if price actually makes a similar move to what we saw yesterday, which was up near the highs, and then it fades off those highs and it comes back down to the same lows. I'm still willing to risk 100% of this trade. So if I lose 70 cents or lose 90 cents, it's not a big deal. But I like the gamma squeeze that's lining up right at that 570 strike like it did yesterday. That was a 90-cent debit that turned into a $1.80 credit. It was trading for as high as 220 at the lows. But anyway, that's the trade. So I'll post that screenshot as well. There's the trade. And that one's going to be under the index trades section. Okay. So active on the SPY, active on SPX, in and out for some profit. We catch some comments here. Whoa, what's up? Very quickly, did I just lose everybody on the stream? Nope. That was weird. I'm just going to keep talking. Somehow my screen just went black. So let me see if I lost anybody on the stream. I think my computer might be flaking out after putting it on sleep mode all week. Let me double check this one. Chandler, I might be double dipping here, but let me find out. I'm back into the studio. Okay. So I'm still talking. That's good. Chandler, will you hit me up in Discord and just let me know everything's coming through loud and clear? My screen on StreamYard just went black. So I'm just either talking to myself or we're good. So I will continue as business as usual. China has just been absolutely cranking this week. Looks normal from our. Okay, good. That's just weird on my end. I think my computer just needs to be officially shut down. I've been doing so much stuff this week after markets, like doing a lot of strategy testing and content. And anyway, so I've had my computer literally in sleep mode every night, and I've got probably 50 browsers up, and might be a little watered down. So probably a good shutdown would help it. But I'll get through the session. I don't want there to be any disruption. So let's go. China just continues to crank. The Hang Seng Index up 3.55. Bob is up 3.94. Baidu 4.28. FXI 1.57. KWeb up here 460. MCHI up 2.4. I have exposure in all these. I also need to add JD. That's another one. This has actually been outperforming. So JD.com, add that to the bottom. It's up 3.96 today. That is part of the reason that my returns are pretty darn solid today and pretty much all this week. So where I am at, let's talk Alibaba. Currently up around $12,000 in Alibaba, and have some shares, added some credit spreads, have some ratio spreads, have a bunch of credit spreads that are way, way, way lower. That hopefully that's just additional income. Baidu, have the shares up about $7,200. Have credit spreads, have ratio spreads, have covered calls at 125 and 130. And I mean, if it starts, we're up tier to 106.70 or 106.80. Um, I don't know if we're going to rip all the way up to 125, 130, but I do want to see what that price looks like. So my first target on Baidu is way the heck up here. So I mean, I've got a 125, 130. I'm not saying that price is going to rip up here to 160 by the end of the year, but I certainly want to try my best to get out of the way. Um, Now, if I get returns at 125, 130, it's obviously not the end of the world. I mean, I own this thing in the 90s. I think Baidu I own at low 90s and $89. And so if I get called away at 125 or 130, that's fine. I'll just reestablish more income plays. So far so good. And yeah, it's no complaints whatsoever. It's just really just I don't love buying highs, and so I put on these fresh trades to do a credit spread for this reason. Here's going to be my plan. So if price is just ripping the way that it's been ripping, and we pause here for a bull flag, I'm looking to see if we just have more continuation. But if we see an aggressive rip up and an aggressive pullback, I will debate if I take the 110 by 105. What I might end up doing is if we pull back, let's say to $100 or $90, I mean, that'd be a sharp, sharp pullback. But if we do that, I might end up taking the shares and then doing a quick repair and just adding to my existing position and just adding covered calls or just holding the shares because I think this is still where I'm looking to go. If this is a double bottom, this is the center high, we double that move. I mean, this could be a $250 stock. I hope that it is. I think that'd be awesome. And of course, I'm trying to stay out of the way if this thing's going to continue to run. So I'm looking at just adding some income plays because if the price wants to go up and I'm adding in credit spreads, I can still generate income even though I'm not adding more shares necessarily because I already own them. I have shares of Baidu, I have shares of Alibaba, I have shares of JD. So all these are looking pretty good. What else? FXI. FXI right now is up about $6,600. I have some shares. I have some credit spreads. I have some ratio spreads. It's the same thing. I've been sitting in a lot of these trades for a while. I'm not saying I'm smart. Okay. I'm saying that I've been patient and that patience is paying off, which I'm obviously happy about. But the nice thing is, it's not like I look at it and say, okay, time to take profit. This has been to me like a huge position that's been in the works. And so I've had about 3 to 5% of my portfolio allocated to this. I mean, what's crazy is, take a Michael Burry for example. He's had about 35 to 50% of his portfolio at any given time in the last year and a half, 2 years allocated to China. And now, I mean, I'm sure his whole fund at whatever he's trading billions of dollars is probably freaking ripping, and he looks like a genius, But the guy was taking on heat and taking on trades when everyone was saying China's uninvestable. Nobody knows. You can't trust it. The data, they could get delisted. It's like, I get it. It's risk, you know. All right, just got a break even trade on the SPY. Good. So that eliminates Q's took profit yesterday. SPY got for break even or better. And I mean, honestly, SPY is looking like it's trying to go a little bit higher, but I'm just playing it off of yesterday's high just in case. So my 960 break even is good. That's this trade right here. I go on the SPY. And sorry, I can't catch any comments, which is odd, but I'm just going to be pretty much talking to myself. So Frank, if you come on, hopefully I can hear you. I'm still like blacked out on my end. So let me see something else. I'm going to get rid of all my browsers are gone from that side of the screen. So let me try one more thing. I'll just mute. Let me mute the stream. Give me a second. And then Chandler, let me know if I do this, if I mute myself and come into the studio, let me know. Oh, fudge. That's an echo on my end. All right, I won't do that. So I just don't want to mess up anything. If Frank joins me, I hope I can hear him, but I might not be able to with my screen going black. So anyway, I do have a hard stop today at 11 o'clock, by the way. So I'll go as quickly as I can. And 11 o'clock, I'm out of here. But the SPY, this was a trade that I'm going to update for where'd my Discord go? There it is. So Discord, I'll go to the A1 trading. This should be under index trades. Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Chandler. If I go into A1 trading, should be under index trades. The Qs I took out for profit. Q. So this one's profitable. I updated that one yesterday right here. And let me just edit this one. Qs. So that was closed for $14 credit yesterday. Actually, let's put the money sign there. Because my profit target would have been like $16 or $17, but I got out a little bit early, which I'm fine with. Okay, so there's that one. And then my SPY trade, similar, but I got out of this one for 960. I just took a break even. Now, it could go up a little bit higher. I still have until the 4th, which is next Friday, but I'm just taking the trade off at break even. So I'm going to edit this one and say update closed at 9.60. So break even result. The QQQ closed early for nice profit. SPY is stalling at the recent highs, just taking the break even result. Okay, so break even will be a thumbs up as opposed to a money sign. And then I'll do a reply here at the bottom for the SPY. Ah, fudge, I lost it. Qs and SPY. So let's edit, reply. SPY 10-4 expiration. Bull call spread by bear put spread for a 960 debit. Closing for 960 credit for break even. Because the QQQ broke higher and closed for a nice winner. SPY credit price isn't doing the same thing. Okay. And then the last trade I have in that same type of batch was NVIDIA, NVDA, and it's trading right now at 120. We were up as high as 127. Micron is another one that I get to keep an eye on today. Come on, Micron, you freaking turd. 106 is my sell side. Actually, it's my buy side because I did the kind of the iron butterfly. Let me check on Micron really quickly. This might be 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, there's nothing to do on Micron. It's either going to settle for a loss or Micron drops all the way back down. We're trading at 108 right now. The reality is on Micron, if price comes back down below 106, I have potentially a full profit for the $6.50 credit because it stays within my legs. Because I sold the body and I bought the wings. So iron butterfly. And obviously it blew through all the levels, and this is what the chart looks like. But I have a chart alarm set here at 106. And so if we go today below 106 and it stays there and closes at like 105.99, 105.95, anything below 106, I can keep this entire credit. So I'm willing to take the full risk on the trade. I need price to cross below 106. I'll be looking to see where this closes at the end of the day. Whether this is a win or a loss, we'll find out. But I'm going to take it all the way to the final bell today. All right. Okay. If there's any pressing questions, Chandler, if you wouldn't mind giving me some questions, that would be, if needed. Let's see. Today, calling the top. I'm just seeing Frank's comment there in Discord. All right. Peloton, I had a good talk about this one yesterday at the final hour. Anyway, so that's Micron. That's what's going on here. Let me check in the broker platform. What other expirations do we have? I'll do some analysis. I have a couple of E-mini futures trades, which futures was up overnight. So ES is up on the day. NQ is down on the day a little bit softer, just kind of oscillating, but SP or ES is up slightly. Dollar yen. Okay, I can take a look at that one. So let's look at the currency strength chart for today. Hey, what up with that dollar yen? Holy shnikes, that's a crazy move in the AM at 2:20 Eastern time. So it looks like the Japanese yen is back to doing its own shenanigans, whatever the heck that is. So yen pairs getting beat up and whipsawed all over the place. I mean, I'm telling you, how many of you are having fun trading the dollar yen out there? Or how many of you are having fun trading the yen in general? Because you don't see this type of crap in Forex all the time. And this is such a radical currency pair. This is why I just think you can make more money not trading Japanese yen. Because how do you predict this? You don't. Like this type of order flow and that type of volatility is so freaking random. I mean, that's a 220 point swing in a day. It's absolutely nuts. I mean, it just massive wick high, massive wick low, just crazy move there. And why? Like what was said overnight? Anything from financial juice with the yen? Let's see. Euro World Cup. Let's go JPY. Is there anything? Slides further, Ashiba's victory and Prime Minister. Oh, we had an election. And click on this for FX Street. Is that what happened? Let's see. Falls further to 142.50 on multiple headwinds. Ashiba's victory in Prime Minister elections has strengthened the Japanese yen. Cooling U.S. inflationary pressures have weighed on the U.S. dollar. Okay. I mean, it's not just the dollar. I mean, the yen has come out swinging with a lot of strength. Sharp rally in the yen suggests market participants expect the victory of the new Prime Minister Ashiba to be favorable for further interest rate hikes in the Bank of Japan. Ashiba told Reuters that the central bank was on the right policy track to rate hikes thus far. Sharp weakness in the U.S. dollar has released a softer than expected U.S. personal consumption, so PCE for August. That's old news. That wasn't today. Annual PCE is decelerated faster to 2%. We'll see if inflation gets sticky or not. U.S. dollar was tracks the greenback. So let's look at the Aussie yen to the CAD yen to the Swiss yen, which I'm still short, by the way. Actually, that worked out pretty well for the Swiss yen. Hopefully, there's more to come. Get back to these 165 lows. To the euro yen, to the pound yen. Pound yen came right back up to that 5055 area. Not a bad spot to look for a sell trade. I mean, this swing is kind of the real deal. Like having that election, I'm putting that out there. Like there's news that happens that kind of lines up perfectly in the Forex market for some type of technicals. I just don't like the idea of if you wanted to short this 5-0 with a stop loss above, you better take a tiny trade size to incorporate whatever that risk is. Because you're looking at like a 1,500 pip risk. So if you're trading a micro lot, you're still talking about $150 risk, you know, and it just depends on your account size. But a lot of traders start with $5,000 accounts, $2,500 accounts. They use a crazy amount of leverage. They blow up their account a bunch of times. I mean, you can trade small and take controlled risk, but it's just, I don't know, it's nuts. And I think this type of order is just wild. Like, how do you get this type of behavior intraday? And how is this not on the calendar? Did anybody see this happening today? I didn't even know this was happening. So Thursday to Friday for this week, was this even on the calendar? Tokyo Core CPI. There's nothing on here with elections. Okay, whatever. So all we had is low impact news today. We had U of M consumer sentiment higher than expected. Personal spending down slightly. The core PC did come in softer, which is good. That shows like inflation's trending lower, so that's actually a good thing. But we're going to see what's happening with employment and inflation in the U.S. Dollar again pressing some lows. I don't believe this. I'm not saying I want to buy the dollar. I'm just saying this is a bear trap. If I ever did see one, this looks like a bear trap. So if I'm going to be a seller, I'm going to wait for this thing to make an obvious breakout, come back here and look for rejection and then sell it. Or make an obvious breakout, come all the way back here and then look to sell it. I am not trying to sell the lows on the dollar. If the dollar wants to drop and keep dropping, everything can be made up here. You can be long gold and silver and Bitcoin stocks. You can be long China. You can be long Japan. You can be long US. You can be long stocks. With a weaker dollar, it's going to help everything. So I think there's just better ways to trade than getting into the dollar crosses in Forex right now, because this is still quite messy. And even with this, you can see that, 2023, we had a fake out and it came right back up. And all of a sudden we posted, multi-year gains on the dollar. I mean, that trend was relentless until the Fed started to, talk about easing again. So anyway, I'm just not taking the bait on the dollar in case this thing is a little silly. All right. Let's go to some other instruments here. I did want to talk about what I put in yesterday. Copper. Copper trading up at 4.62. So on copper, I think copper could have a good opportunity here. If we have this big uptrend, we pull back, we create this little structure. This could be a head and shoulders trade. I'd like to see a pullback in copper and look to get long. The only issue is I may not be able to trade the futures market the way that I want to. There's other ways to trade it. I can obviously trade like FCX is a Freeport McMoran. That's a copper producer. Rio Tinto copper producer. These stocks have ripped pretty nicely from $40 to $51. Will we see a gold dump? I don't think so. I mean, I want a gold pullback, but I don't think we're going to see a gold dump. I think silver looks still really good. Technically, I think gold is just drifting to all-time highs, and if it pulls back, it pulls back one way. I talked about this yesterday in my final hour session for gold. Anyway, let me look something copper real quick. So HG copper futures right here trading at 4.6. If I go to my broker platform for copper futures, let's go /HG. I want to see if there's something I can trade in copper. If I go out to March of 2025 and I want to put in a credit spread, so could I do like a 4.3 low? So a 4.3 by 4.25. That's if I get filled right now. I'm going to try to get filled at, what would it be if I took a trade right now? If I did an at the money, I'm going to get a ballpark here. So I should get filled for like 0.28. So I'm going to try to get filled at like 0.25. This pullback here is around 4.32. So 4.32. Let me see if I can get filled for a 0.025. And what does that look like? So I'd make $625 and I'd risk about the same. This is out to March 2025. I'm just thinking, so I obviously want to see price pull back a little bit and get me a better fill versus getting in now because I'm not taking the higher risk. But if copper just keeps going higher, I'm never going to get filled on the trade. If copper pauses and pulls back, then that order gets filled. I have defined risk, and I just need price to go higher. And this is a play on global demand. I mean, AI needs copper. EVs need copper. Computers, houses need copper. So I think right now it's it's the same thing with uranium. I'm long uranium for supply shortages. I'm long copper for the same reason. I'm just trying to get a good trade. So I'll go ahead and place this trade. A 4.3 by 4.25. I'm going to try to get 0.025 in this trade. And it's only tying up about $400 in buying power. It's a 1-to-1. If I win, it's 625. If I lose, it's 625. So I'll take the trade. Let me send this one out here. So pending order on copper at 0.025. Okay, let me place these really quickly. All right. So just a couple more accounts. And I will add that into my alert service and Discord as well. Not replace, don't replace. Let me see, did I do it for this one? Yes. This one, I did not. Hang on. So pending here, not pending. Got it. All right, so I need to do one more account. Similar, and there. Okay, so I'm placing a trade on copper. I'm looking for 4.3 right there. So we have all this upside with a pretty tight stop. It's risk defined. So that's a March 2025 expiration, 4.3 sell put and a 4.25 buy put. Yep, that's correct. And I'm looking for 0.025 credit, 6.25 reward, 6.25 risk, 50% take profit to 75% take profit. So just a little bit of elimination of the potential outlier risk, but we have to see price pull back first, and I'm looking to get in. So I need to see price pull back, which I can draw that right here. Price pulls back, then we get filled, and then price can go up. Gold. Someone's asking, will gold dump? Let's take a look at gold. So XAU USD, here's an easy way to look at it. If I take my 200, 100, and 50 moving averages, you tell me if this looks like a healthy bull trend. Are we in an uptrend in gold? Yes. Have we found support several times along the way? Yes. Right now, this is a pretty aggressive bull market where if all we had price come back to is a 50 moving average, I would still consider that an opportunity to get long on gold and add to the position. If we pull back, obviously, to a 50 or a 100 and we pop back above those, that's a good looking trade for a buy the dip. So I'm pretty eager to add more to gold if I see price pull back. I hate saying it, but I'm probably not adding to these highs. And that seems stupid if it's like gold has a pretty good track to get to 3,000, but man, it'd be nice to get a freaking bull flag. It'd be nice to get a pullback and find like even the light 50 period would be fine. So I'm just gonna wait because if something happens on the dollar with the lows and the dollar whips up for a second, maybe gold pulls back in a spur of the moment trade. I don't know. But if we pull back to the 50, I'm probably putting on a credit spread for gold futures or GLD. And if it pulls back to 100, same thing. Pulls back to 200, same thing. So this area, I'm looking to patiently wait. I know that if price goes higher, I'll still treat it the same way. If the 50 period moves up and the 100 period moves up and the 200 moves up and gold just keeps going, and then finds them, well, I'm still looking to see if it goes up and, we can buy the dip, so to speak. So a gold dump, no. I think gold is still pretty well built in for higher highs. There's a ton of demand for it. It's a great play against weakening currencies and debasement. Bitcoin's doing the same thing. We're up to 66,000. Bitcoin's come off these 50K lows pretty nicely, and everyone's kind of wondering here, like, is this the big breakout trade on Bitcoin? Does it break above 70,000? Can we get above all-time highs again? Yes, no, maybe. I'm not sure. But it's looking certainly a lot better than it was back at 52,000. Hey, see the stream again. My browsers are coming back. That's so weird. And then Ethereum also behaving. I have a chart alarm set here with that recent break we saw back in August. My Ethereum credit spreads, if we get up above this level, those are looking for some full profit as well. So that's a trade into the end of the year. I'm trading EETH, and I can show that right here. Let's go all accounts. EETH. So currently down about $1,000 across the board on all the accounts, which isn't a big deal. We get above my strike prices, then we're in some good positions here. So I have a 60 by 50 credit spread, and then I have a 45 by 40 and a 40 by 35. So I've got a little exposure there just on defined risk. But if I see price getting back in to fill this gap on EETH or price on Ethereum actually coming back above 2814. I mean, Ethereum looks a lot better, not just holding this level and holding this level, but rather getting above this 200 EMA again and breaking this trend line and actually trying to recover back up towards these recent highs. So if it's above this level, that's where profit's looking a lot better, and there should be a lot less risk on the trade. Okay. That is some Bitcoin, some Ethereum, some gold, some silver. Oil still having some woes and struggles. We're green today, but we had a pretty nasty sell-off with that Saudi Arabia news. 67.93. I'm looking to see if price just kind of stabilizes around this 65 to 67.50 area. I'm still looking at like credit spreads, but I might just stay out. I took profit on that 65 It was like a 65.50 by 64.50 CL credit spread that ended up making like $250. And I'm good for that right now. And then I've got some exposure on. I've got a long put at 55 and a sell put at 65 that I'm just going to kind of sit on and wait on for right now. Okay. All right. What else do we have here? Copper added the trade. Let me get that into the Discord before we go. The Nikkei is also just flat out ripping. I don't know. Don't be surprised if this offers up. I wish there was a better way to trade the Nikkei, but this could be a really nice cup and handle pattern where we have that nasty flash down for 27%. We rip all the way back up here, pull back. That breakout right there, if it holds, which it is because the Asia session is done, if that's a cup and handle, symmetry is right here to all-time highs for this first push. So symmetry is right here towards 43,000, and the cup and handle pattern is a measured move up to 46,000. So, this to me, if we're going to see all-time highs again on the Nikkei, this is another reason that I'm not necessarily looking for Japanese yen strength. Not immediately, but this also could be something where it doesn't take out the highs. Maybe we have this type of high-low swing, and then we have this market coming up here and then stalling, and it becomes a bit more of a resistance zone double top, and who knows. So Japanese yen stuff can be really, really slippery. So I just say that please be careful. They can be wild and crazy. All right, I'm back by the way with all the chats and stuff, so I can see your comments. How do we get you live directly every morning? So I mean, I'm live here every morning. I'm also live with another service I run at 9 a.m. Called Daily Profit Play. That's in my Discord channel, and then I'm live on my YouTube channel and Twitter and Facebook and stuff in the afternoons around 3 p.m. for a final hour. Have to search for you live. I mean, you know how to find me. If you're in my Discord channel, I go live and it posts up on my YouTube channel. Like the links are all right there. So when I go live, you can join. My Nikkei chart's a bit different. Well, are you in this? Is it the same signal or the same symbol? NI225. All right, let me get rid of these moving averages. It dumped last night. Not from what I see. Let's find out. Let's take a look at a couple other feeds. So the Nikkei 225, this one's the TradingView index here. Here's Nikkei USD futures, and then here is the Nikkei stock average. Let's see what this one looks like. I mean, that's a daily line graph. That's up on the day. It shows here 2.32. So, you're talking about the Nikkei? I don't know. That's not what I'm seeing. But point is, I mean, this is a pretty miraculous recovery. And look, China is Asian currencies are doing well. China has been ripping nonstop for the last 3-4 days and finally starting to catch everybody's attention. Like I said, I've been sitting in China for a long time, for over a year now. And, I've been just talking about it like maybe I'm the crazy one that thinks that there's a play here, and I've just been patient, and now profits are rolling in nicely, which is great. So I'm not trying to be silly and chase it, but I still think there is a lot of opportunity to get long. I mean, I completely expect to see a pullback, and I hope there is one. Now what I'll do here is with this 110 by 105, I've gone out far enough on the trade that if we go out 45 to 60 days, it should give it enough time that if we have an up and a down and then we get back up to the highs, fine. If we go up and down and we get to all-time or new highs again, great. If we go up and pull all the way back to where this thing started to show these gaps, I might end up taking the shares and just closing out for my my long put. I would close out for profit. I take the assignment and then I work the trade back up to all-time highs. So just saying. I think there's room for it. I mean, I zoom out of the chart, and this is why I've been patient, because this structure for me was built all the way back here in October 2022. And it has been a long time, nearly 2 years of waiting for this price to pull back and 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 give us something. It finally is starting to look better. And just this last couple of weeks, I mean, it is like ridiculous, but it's also essentially, imagine this. Imagine that Jerome Powell comes into the FOMC and says, we are so confident that we're going to go to all-time highs in the stock market. We, the Fed, are buying stocks. That's essentially what China did. They are trying to reassure the entire country that it's safe to spend, it's safe to invest in the markets, invest in real estate, invest in everything, and the government's doing it too. So the government's buying stocks, right? It'd be the same thing as like if the US government's buying stocks, if the Fed is buying stocks, which I'm sure they are. They just don't disclose that stuff, but they're coming out right out and saying we're buying stocks. And so it's almost like I don't know how long it's going to last. I'm not getting crazy bullish like longer term, but for the next probably 3 to 6 months, I will try to get as much out of this that I can. And if all I get to is a measured move, let's say we go from low to high and we get from higher low to higher high. If I hit symmetry, I'm pretty darn happy because these trades have been built for over a year. And if that rips from 80 to 130, I'm pretty happy making $50 a share. You know, would I like to make 100% and 200%? Of course. But there's still a lot of profit to be made. And like I said, if I hit some measured moves, I'm taking profit. Baidu, same type of thing. You know, all the way back down towards these lows again. Measured move up here towards 160. We're trading at 105. So does it have room to go? Yep. And I hope it's looking a lot better. Speaking of, let me get into Schwab right now. Any golf fans out there? We got the President's Cup going on. The U.S. is out to a commanding lead. So probably more of the same there. U.S. winning the President's Cup, most likely. Not jinxing the international team, but oh my gosh. All right, I'm trying to get into I've got a couple of accounts in Schwab and Thinkorswim that I want to take a look at. This has been a more concentrated portfolio for a family member, and I've been sitting and waiting for these for a while. So let me see. Yep, got it. She knows the deal. Perfect. You live near Wentworth? Never played golf. Never played golf. Lee, what's up with that? Okay, very good. So this account is up from not too bad over this year to date. So 30K is the starting point. It's up to 44,235. So it's up what 14,235. So up about 47% this year. Not too bad. And a lot of that is I've been in Amazon, I've been in tech, I've been in Nvidia, I've been in and out of those trading options. Now I'm finally getting the China plays to kick in. So looking a lot better on those investments. And let me go to positions. Looking pretty good. So now I've got about $2,000 running on Alibaba, about another $1,500 running on Baidu. FXI has been ripping to the upside. Some Bitcoin plays ripping the upside. Uranium's ripping to the upside. Amazon's still up a ton, like 10 grand, $9,600. So yeah, whatever. Just taking some good trades and nice to see things coming together. I do think this is a bull trap for what? Bull trap in what? Bull trap in China? So much greed now, mainstream media pumping and soft landing. Well, I don't know, man. I mean, I think you'd be surprised how long this market can keep going. I think that look, we are not seeing a Fed, U.S. stocks. Yeah, I mean it makes sense. I'm not that skeptical of a bull trap. I would look. I wouldn't be surprised if we have a pullback. I mean look at the chart, right? This is a daily chart. If I zoom out and see a weekly chart, there's really no price evidence that suggests that we need to go down. Now this is from this rip, like this was ridiculous, and this was a crazy shallow pullback. So that like April, April, May, June pullback was super shallow, and then we were saved by Mag 7. Then we got, we really got a taste of volatility there for a second, and we came back up and we still found all-time highs. Now I wonder if this market going into the election, if we're just not really gaining any ground, and then the election can give us more upside to fuel this move. And I think that could be the push into 6,000. But I would be very cautious and very skeptical of 6,000 plus highs without having some pullback. Because based on this structure, their support, their support, their support. I mean, any type of top that we see, any type of topping pattern has room to drop 15, 20, 30%. But I think you'd be surprised right now. It's like you've got government spending, you got the Fed cutting rates like freaking crazy. They're likely going to cut rates by another 50 to 100 basis points by Q1 of next year. That for now is very aggressive. And I think the market can still have room in the tank to run with it. They essentially poured gasoline on this. Like, look, there were like ashes and ambers that were kind of, sparking a little bit, and the Fed just came in and, lit it ablaze again. Now, I don't know how much longer that lasts because we don't have the same foundation that we did before. But I still think there's room to run through this seasonality. The election obviously is potentially uncertain. We don't know if it's going to be, dramatic or not. I think as long as we don't have like a big sweep where it's all Democrat wins or all Republican wins, and it's just the election is the election, there's no question of election integrity, there's no freaking drama around the election, I think it's business as usual. And for the seasonality we typically see, if the markets are going to edge higher and melt up higher, great. But China right now has a lot of fuel in it, and I think there's room to run. So I'm going to try to ride these out for the next 3 months, probably into Q1 of next year. And then the U.S. market, if it goes just even if it putt-puts along a little bit higher, a pullback is fine, but not something crazy. Like I don't see a pullback necessarily breaking structure, but I see a pullback towards recent all-time highs or a pullback even towards like the September Labor Day lows. But that's about it. Again, we're struggling at these highs. We are certainly struggling at the highs. So a little bit of indecision, a little bit of chop. I see it. Monday end of month, Monday end of quarter. Maybe Monday is a weird directional day to the downside. I still hope that I hit that 570 gamma level. It's lighting up right there. To me, this is a magnet for price. I just hope I time it well enough. If I don't, and it's still there next week, I'll take a trade for next week. But if this, dumps today or dumps on Monday, good. That's the trade I'm taking. Okay. All right. And the Dow is still pushing up. So the Dow is up to all-time highs today, I believe, right? So the Dow poked, oh my gosh, it did freaking rip to all-time highs. So the Dow is cranking up around 0.8%. The Russell also still in the chop from the FOMC, but actually up a 1.5%. SPY is flat today. Qs are down today. Interesting like divergence between what indexes are doing better. So I mean, Dow seems like the easy one because it's pretty much like moat type companies with solid dividends, lots of cash, stable growth. But anyway, so that's it. Anton says SPX 5800 December market. I mean, we're already at 5750. You're trying to tell me that they're only going to go up to 5800? I think 6,000 is in the cards. I don't think 6,000 has to be hit by December, but I think 6,000 by Q1 could be hit. And I would be very aggressive on taking profits, or at least trailing stops, protecting profits. I'm not going to be caught, sitting here buying in these all-time highs. I would be gladly waiting for a pullback or something along those lines. So here's to everybody. I did have a cutoff today at 11 o'clock, so I do have to bounce. But thanks for being with me. I'm glad the stream was fine as usual. Sorry I had a weird blackout there. But here's my plan for the rest of the day. I'm going to be on the road driving, and I'm hoping I can be back for a final hour session at 3 p.m. Eastern time. If I can, I'll be live on my YouTube channel. If I can't, then I will be posting a video in my Telegram, in my Discord, and in YouTube, and in Twitter, and all over the place. So anyway, if I don't do a live session, I'll post at my Discord. But if I can get back for a live session at 3 p.m., I'm live every day at 3 p.m. for a final hour session. Cool. All right, Chandler, team, thanks. Have a good week, everybody. Look, I hope you had a great week. It was a pretty solid week overall. I'm pretty stoked. 12 of 13 trades winning this week. P&L at fresh all-time highs multiple days this week. No complaints, and hopefully there's more to come. And let's finish this year out with whatever nonsense we get thrown at us. We figure it out, we navigate it, and continue to grind and make some profits. All right, thanks everybody. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to today's A1 Trading Show. Make sure to subscribe and to turn on post notifications so you don't miss the next one. Also, we're looking for more guests to come on the show. If you're comfortable being on camera, have trading experience, and you're looking to grow your audience exposure, we'd love to have you on. In the live stream chat and description below, we'll drop a link to apply to be a live stream guest and join in on the conversation. We hope to have you on soon. That's all for today. Trade safe, and we'll see you next time.